Like I always say, if you're not down with the bullshit and you're down with the real shit, like and subscribe. Oh man, it was awful news. You hear about what happened with DMX, man. I mean, because of simple fact like this, he's the last of a dying breed. You know, X is real. He's raw. He's passionate. Wears his heart on the sleeve. You can feel, what he's going through or what he's going through his music. And, when he came out, he was one of those guys, man, where it's like, he had that street edge to him. And it's like, people felt him. The people that was in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever gone through a lot of pain and drama in your life, or struggle, or, I would say, like, not even just people in the hood, if you've just gone through things just like what I just mentioned, you hear artists like him, and he lets you know that you ain't the only one going through something, and it's like, it's good to hear when you hear artists like him, because what happens is it lets you know that, you think just because this man has a successful rap career and film career and has millions of dollars, you think that just makes all, happiness that there is to have in this world. And he's letting you know, like, no, it doesn't. I'm still going through stuff, even though I got the film career and the rap career and the money, the wife, the kids, everything. He's still going through stuff as a human being. And that's very much real and true. I trip off of how people think because you acquire certain things or certain relationships or whatever, or certain situations, that just makes everything all good. It might make everything all good to you, but that don't mean it makes everything all good to them, So because they think that way and feel that way, they think you should be happy. And it's like, no. People have a lot of things they want to accomplish. People have certain goals in life, certain aspirations. And when you don't see none of this stuff really materializing, even if you do have certain things that people might think is a good thing, more so because probably you value it in a way that person don't. That might be the end all be all for you. But for them, it's just like great athletes, great singers, great rap, great. Not subpar, not all right, not so-so. But the great ones are always driven, if you ever notice. They're always trying to be the best. They're always trying to outdo what they last did. Because that's how passionate they are about their craft. And the respect they have for it, and the respect they want people to have for them, putting in the work that they're putting in, And a lot of times those are people who don't have a lot of time for chit-chat. When you really striving to be the best, you don't really have time to just talk on the phone all the time. You don't have time to just sit with people and jibber-jabber about nonsense. Stuff that's unimportant, gossip, and those that don't have that passion and don't have that kind of focus, they don't understand that. That's why a lot of times you see these Hollywood celebrities, famous people, when they get in relationships with like normal or regular average people, you notice a lot of times those relationships wind up breaking up because they need to be with other people of their own caliber because they're the only people that can really understand their drive and the mission that they're on, because they have that same, drive within them. So you see two famous actors or two famous musicians or things that they know what each other is going through. They know so it's like, okay, you got to go on tour. You got to go do this. Okay, boom. While you doing that, okay, maybe it might be like, let's say they had kids. They say, okay, I'm going to take time off from going on tour or whatever, or working on my album. You go do this for like whatever stuff. And, I'll be here, holding down the fort. You know what I'm saying? Just check in from time to time. We'll check in with you. Sometimes we'll fly out where you at. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you fly back home for a minute. They make it work. You get a guy who, a lot of these guys, famous athletes, rappers, singers, they gone all the time. That woman can't handle that shit. Because for one, she don't want to be at that house taking care of those kids solely by herself all the time. She don't want to just be at home, even if it's a big-ass house, a big-ass mansion. She don't want to just be at home in that house alone. So she'll fault him for, like, being gone. But at the same time, she'll be somebody who said, I don't want to go on tour all the time either. Because it's like your life is not her life. You know what I'm saying? And it could be vice versa, too. And it has been and stuff, where the woman is like somebody famous and everything, and the guy, he feels emasculated because he's like, everybody is showing her so much love and attention and respecting her and everything. And hell, when we go out, we supposed to be like man and wife. People be like telling me, can I stand to the side? And they want to just take a picture of her. She talking about, just go stand over there for a minute. And I'm standing over there for a long time. And I got the kids with me and they taking all her pictures. It comes with the territory, dude. But because your wife is famous and has the income that she had, you're living good. But that's the part you have to look at. Now, if you ain't got nothing going on, you need to get your ass something going on. But don't fault a person for trying to be successful just because you don't have nothing going on. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, man. I think I got a little bit off track. Just, I think it related to the whole thing about DMX being famous, and he had the wife and kids. Well, the rap career, the acting career, man, still was tortured by his demons, because sometimes, man, things that affect us when we're young. Especially like with black people. Black people, couldn't think about black people. And you think about stuff sometimes, say, yo, that's a lot of oxymoronic type behavior or attitude of thinking if you really really in depth think about it. But black people have always had this thing, it's always been within the black culture to not recognize behavior problems based upon mental illness or mental stress or something like that. Like, it's always been a thing where in the black community, people are like, oh, that's BS. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You just doing this or you just doing that. Oh, everybody goes through stuff and everything. You can't just say because you going through stuff, you getting all stressed out and, oh man, you don't know what to do. You got to do something, man. You got to just do it any damn way. I don't give a damn, whatever the hell, you can relax and do whatever the hell else you want to do later, but ain't nobody got no time for somebody be talking about they having some head trips or whatever. You giving yourself them head trips. Ain't nothing wrong with you and shit. This is, and it's so from the mental torment of things when we're children, whether it's abuse from the parents, verbally and physically, or sometimes, man, it was always, the old school thing, like, it was way back in the day. It was these cover-ups of like the uncle molesting the niece, and people want to cover it up because that's gonna bring shame to the family. The child will be told that, oh, you lied. You should be ashamed of yourself. Why are you lying on your uncle like that? But come to find out, like some years down the line, that it was true, and then some people, even get found out that mom actually knew the whole time or something like that, but she didn't want to get her brother put in prison because, that's still my baby brother and that would kill my mama or my daddy, And so that child had to grow up being told that they were lying about traumatic things that happened. And so the people who's supposed to be the main protectors of you, you can't trust them because they don't believe you, Shit. You go tell them something in confident, in the strictest of you know what I'm saying, you can confide in something, confide in something in them, and I don't know, I'm tripping. But you know what I'm saying. You're telling them something that you want them to just keep between, in the strictness of secrecy, And it's like, these will be people who will go back and fucking tell and shit, go talk to the person you was talking about. And they said, oh, no, I wasn't doing. I told you, honey, you little son of a bitch. Oh, okay, you watch what the fuck I'll do to your ass later. Next thing you know, you might get harmed some kind of way because they're more so trying to protect them. I talk about that because, DMX, he would talk about his childhood. And you could tell, man, that it was really heartfelt when he was talking about, like, how wouldn't be any food in the house sometime, and his mom, whatever the hell, be in the room sleep, and she wasn't basically making sure that, I guess, that there was food. It sounded like some of the stories that he would tell. I know he had his two sisters, but some of the stories that he would tell, it would be more so like he was thinking, maybe because of him being the only boy, he was targeted some kind of way and he was mistreated even worse than him. I remember him telling a story about how he said he was hungry and somebody snuck in her room and he was so hungry he drunk her perfume or something like that. Because she hadn't fed him all day and he was hungry. She was laid upstairs asleep or knocked out or something. But he always, like, he hadn't done it in some years. He said that him and his mom had gotten to a good place, so he didn't want to keep rehashing that. But he would always talk about from time to time, the issues that he had with his mom. And see, all of us, man, I've told some of my friends about this. I've told some of my friends about this. All of us ain't had good mothers. In the black community, they always talk about the father and shit, and they always put the dad down, motherfucker's a bum, don't pay child support, don't spend time with his kids, don't see his kids. He's an alcoholic, he's a drug addict. He hangs in the street all the time. So it's always the common anthem to talk bad about the black fathers in the hood and stuff, or in the black community, period. But DMX talked about his mother, and I've told, like, some of my friends, all of us don't have. I bring that up in conversation. All of us didn't really have nice or cool or doting type mothers. But I was just being honest about it. That's the only thing I was doing. Not trying to just shame anybody or talk about people just to be talking about people. It was just a conversation where, I've talked to some guys. You take my boy the Hitman. His mother was a nice, sweet woman. You would see her at times. She have a smile on her face. The woman greet you like, hi. She had that certain type of voice, and and she was really cool. And I was telling him, like, yo, man, your situation cool. I said, but the rest of us, man, shit, man, that was been like, I know with my mom, how my mom was, how she would, when she get mad, she say some cuss words, yeah, some explicit stuff that really, as a kid, I was not supposed to be getting called, or that stuff wasn't even supposed to be getting said to me. And some of the other guys in our crew and are people that grew up together in the crew. I've been over to their houses. I've heard how their mom talk to them straight up. Moms embarrassing dudes, putting their own sons on blast, clowning them in front of their friends, in front of neighbors, all kind of stuff. Like, and then you look at your partner and you're like, yo, man, you can see the sadness on his face, or you can just see the embarrassment. Like, damn, like, why my mama doing me like that, man? Like, shit, So when I talk about these things, I'm talking about these things as it relates to like what people got from DMX music. That's what I'm saying. When he did the song, I'm Slipping. I used to feel that song like mad crazy. That's one of the most important songs, and one of my most favorite songs by him, because it's really real, man. How he was talking about like the process of like going into fatherhood and having to realize that, man, now that I have a kid, I have to alter or change my life for the betterment of this kid. So once you have a child, you realizing that it don't matter what I done been through or what done happened to me at this point in time. Now that I got a kid coming in my life, it's not about me no more. That's what that means when people say it's not about me anymore, because now I have to look out for the welfare and the benefit of my child now. So that takes precedence over me grieving over something that somebody said to me, or something somebody did to me, or something that I didn't get that I wanted, or something like that. So I get so caught up in like me that I forget that I got a child. Like, damn, this is a little baby. This baby don't know how to do nothing. This baby can't even feed itself. This baby can't even dress itself. This baby can't even change his diaper. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have the time. A parent, you don't have no time really to be all into you. Or be like a me type person. This child has to be raised and stuff, and given the proper tools to come up. You're supposed to be trying, like they said, to raise your child to be better than you. I mean, I look at my daughters, and where I had some drop off at, they kept on going. And I pushed them. I told them the importance about education, the seriousness of it. I have told them at different times I did not want them to do what I did and stuff, because I like I said, like I told them, I told people, to fall from grace is worse than to never have been there. Like, if you just been known as an average person and you basically have flew under the radar your whole life, there's even some famous people that would even tell you got the best life. It's hard to keep trying to live up to people's expectations all the time. It's hard to be recognized as being somebody that's supposed to be elite and be on top and keep staying there. And people hold you responsible to keep staying there. And if you fall off any kind of way, here come the ridicule, here come the finger pointing, here come the disrespect, here comes the name calling, here comes all this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And, it's like, I explained to them that, who I formerly was, as being like a known student athlete and stuff. And, for the many years that I was in school, that, you know, once I got to high school, you know, I kind of like, you know, I kind of fizzled out in a sense of just, you know, but I learned from my mistakes and stuff later on in life, because you have to learn that it's easy to always point the finger at somebody else and say what they did and what they shouldn't have done. But at the same time, you have to take responsibility as far as how did you react to it. See? And like I said, and everything that I'm saying right now is a reflection of like listening to DMX. This is what I'm saying. This is why people love DMX, man. He gave you something. He gave you prayers on stage, on the album. He gave you something that you could grasp, cling on to, knowing that somebody, you know, understood out there in that world. If you didn't have anybody around you, that you knew, like, here was somebody that had that same, you knew that had that understanding of what you was going through. If you done been through some stuff and everything, you know what I'm saying? So that's why that's why, like, you know, you come from the conditions and everything that DMX is talking about. That's why, man. That's why, especially like, but especially from the hood. That's why he's so heartfelt, man. Because it's hard growing up like in the projects, and you know what I'm saying, and having like not a good home life, and you know, just trying to make it through the day. So that's what makes good music that you can feel so important, man. So shit, man. My prayers go out to DMX. I hope he pull through, man. I hope he be all right. You know, and I hope everybody, like, you know, rethink, if you haven't thought about it in a while, like what DMX, if you ever been a real true DMX fan, what DMX music has meant to you and everything. And you know, this is another point at the last thing I'll say, this is another point in time where what we can learn from this is, hey man, try to give everybody their flowers before they go, because you never know what might happen. Peace.